just read my favourite story for ages it's Italy's Nutella maker Ferrero in hazelnut standoff with Turkish dealers. And it's so pleasing to read a financial story that I understand, that isn't about speculation and bubbles and tariffs, isn't even about pork belly futures or orange juice. It's about nuts. The price of hazelnuts has almost doubled since early summer after a spring frost and pest outbreak in Turkey cut the amount of nuts available to the confectionery industry. Ferrero, which consumes about a quarter of global hazelnut production, has held off purchases, drawing on its own inventories and sourcing from Chile and the US. But that restraint has not cooled the market. London-based traders said prices had inflated further as Turkish intermediaries bought aggressively from farmers. As a quote from a trader, "The local dealers in Turkey have basically been buying everything they can get their hands on in anticipation of Ferrero coming to buy what they need. So it's a standoff between Ferrero and the long holders. These guys are basically holding Ferrero to ransom." But lest you feel sympathy with Ferrero, General Manager of Ferrero Hazelnut Company, the group's internal hazelnut sourcing and processing division, said, "Everybody plays games." In a normal year, apparently Turkey harvests between 600,000 and 700,000 tonnes of hazelnuts, which is almost 2/3 of the global supply. This year, the output could fall to 500,000 tonnes or less. It's due to a late frost in the eastern Black Sea and an infestation of the brown marmorated stink bug, apparently is known locally as the Sputnik. Despite dwindling supplies, Ferrero is holding out for hazelnut prices to fall. "We have very long coverage this year," said the Ferrero spokesperson. "We are not in a rush to buy." Apparently that's partly because for the past 2 decades they've been developing hazelnut production in Chile and the US. They think long, these hazelnut people. Worth bearing in mind the actual reality of the hazelnut producers. In the hills near Ordu on the Black Sea coast, part-time farmer Saadettin Imashi said his orchard yielded just 30 kg of nuts, barely 2% of a typical year's production of 1.5 tonnes. Nut prices are going up, he said, but they are only where they should be.